The bridge collapse in Baltimore, of course, has halted all traffic into and out of that major port. The closure could impact everything from imports and exports, as we just said, to the auto industry and cruises. CNN's Matt Egan is with us now. This is a big deal. I mean, nothing's moving.
Yeah, John, this is a very big deal. I mean, first and foremost, of course, this is a human tragedy, but make no mistake, there will be an economic impact as well. Hopefully that economic impact is localized because we're talking about one of the biggest ports in the country has been effectively crippled. As a major employer, more than 15,000 direct jobs, 139,000 jobs rely on this port here. And again, it's been effectively shut down. This is a major hub of economic activity. It's the #1 port for exports of coal, #1 for imports of sugar. It's a major port when it comes to farming and construction machinery, and also, of course, for autos. Last year alone, 850,000 vehicles went through this port. That was an all-time high. And a lot of major companies, household names, are going to be impacted because they rely on this port or the bridge or both, including everyone from Ford and BMW, GM, Stellantis. We also know that Amazon, FedEx, Under Armour, they all have facilities nearby. And Carnival, that company has moved their cruises to Virginia. Another company, Domino Sugar, that refinery in Baltimore, it's not just a landmark, it's actually the biggest refinery for sugar in the entire Western Hemisphere. That's being impacted here as well. And listen, John, we all learned more than we ever wanted to during COVID about supply chains and about how if something breaks in one place, there can be stress everywhere. So we need to pay very close attention to the impact here.
Yeah, and look, I mean, nothing's moving in and out of that port right now.
Yes.
The mayor just told me of Baltimore, yeah, there are some 15,000 people who work on those docks. They're loading and unloading some of the things that are stuck in there right now, but there's only so much they can do.
Right, exactly. Now, when you think about the national impact here, everyone's on high alert right now for the U.S. economy in terms of any sort of shocks, right? Because remember, inflation has cooled, but it remains high. Listen to what the governor of Maryland said about the national economic impact here.
We have got to get this bridge back up, and we have got to get the Port of Baltimore moving. This is one of the most efficient and effective ports that we have in the entire country. And the economic impact of the Port of Baltimore does not just impact the state of Maryland. It's over 51 million tons of foreign cargo. It's the largest in the country.
Now, the saving grace here, when we look at the map, is there are other options, right? There are major East Coast ports that traffic is already being diverted to, including the Port of Virginia, Port of Philadelphia, and New York and New Jersey. Of course, the extra traffic in those ports, that can add to congestion. That could actually increase the shipping costs there, the truck costs as well. And then when you think about the situation in Baltimore, of course, there's a lot of trucks and cars, more than 30,000 every single day that went over the Key Bridge. Now, most of that can get diverted. It can go to the tunnels, but not all of it because some of this is hazardous material. That can't go through the tunnels. I think that when we zoom out and we think about the big picture in the economy, it looks like the national economy, right, can be spared here because there are other options. There's contingencies. We're not hearing about economists downgrading their growth forecasts or warning of price spikes. But listen, like everything else, the longer this is shut down, the bigger the impact.
I asked the Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg, when he thinks, do they have an estimate of when they may be able to get a channel open to get in and out there? And he just doesn't know. I mean, I don't think there is an answer right now. I think he would love to have an answer, but right now they just can't be sure.
They can't be sure because, John, I mean, this is something that was on nobody's radar until 24 hours ago, and here we are.
Matt Egan, great to see you.
Thanks,
Thank
John.
you very much. And you said that the federal government, you assume, will pay for this, but why should taxpayers pay for all of it if there was negligence involved, if there was something preventable there? Shouldn't one of the shipping companies involved be paying here?
Well, to be clear, if any private party is responsible for and accountable for this, then they will be held accountable. And again, that's part of what the law enforcement and NTSB investigations will determine. But we can't wait for that to play out, to get to work right now, to get this up and running. So what we know is that we've got to tear down every obstacle, physical, financial, administrative. That means using all of the tools that we have as a department, and very likely working with Congress as well. And that was the commitment that that the president made and that I made yesterday with Governor Wes Moore. We were with him and his leadership team. So were the congressional delegation of Maryland, clearly determined to make sure that every resource is made available. I've never seen anything quite like this, but there have been experiences in the U.S. that we are drawing from, including the 2007 Minnesota bridge collapse, where really the federal government and the whole country stepped up to get that reconstructed. We're learning from that and a lot of other moments in U.S. history as part of the playbook on what to do next. So much depends on getting that bridge back up and that port back open quickly.
You said a lot has been learned. One of the things that has been learned over time as ships, big cargo ships, have hit bridges is there have been fenders placed around the base of pylons in bridges like this. You said you're not so sure that any bridge could have withstood a ship of this size. There are bigger ships than this. There are a lot bigger cargo vessels than this. How concerned are you about bridge safety in the rest of the country? I know the Delaware Memorial Bridge, not terribly far from where this accident is actually going under a multi-million-dollar refurbishment to put some fenders around the base.
You know, after 30, 40, 50 years of underinvestment in U.S. infrastructure, this is one of the reasons why President Biden made infrastructure a top priority. And it's why roads and bridges are the single biggest category in his infrastructure package that we're delivering across the country. And that's for all kinds of design issues and resilience issues that are at stake. For example, we're doing a seismic retrofit right now on the Golden Gate Bridge to make it better able to withstand earthquakes. We're designing the new I-5 bridge that's going to go in the Pacific Northwest to make sure that it is more resilient for the future. And after a collapse in Tampa, the Tampa region in the 1980s, there have been new elements of bridge design that have been added in the newest, latest and greatest in engineering since then. Again, it's really too soon to speculate on whether those designs or any designs would have changed the outcome here, where you had a vessel. It's really difficult to express the physics, the mass of this. We're talking about 100,000 tons, so 2 million pounds of force hitting that support pier that is critical to the entire structure. Just a shocking level of impact that, as everybody saw, it was enough almost instantly to take that bridge down.
Do you have any estimates as to when this channel will reopen and you'll be able to get maybe some of the shipping that's been trapped now inside the harbor out, or to get things through?
Well, as you mentioned, not only do we need to get those ships in, there are some ships that are already in there that can't get out. So it's very important to get that channel back open. I have not yet received an estimate. Right now, the focus obviously is just shifting from search and rescue to recovery. But we've already started the work to try to engage all of the relevant parties on what that's going to take. I think the Army Corps and the Coast Guard are going to play critical roles in this as well. This is not going to be a simple thing. You've got the bridge, the wreckage of the bridge. We don't know about the conditions of the piers, so even the part, what you see now is the central span is down. Too soon to really know about the condition of the parts of the bridge that are still standing, which also, of course, have an impact on the entire channel. What we do know is that we have tools that we didn't have a few years ago to help manage supply chains in the U.S. The President's infrastructure package helped us stand up a new multimodal freight office. We're using that to coordinate among the different players. This is not like air traffic control, where there's one authority that tells the planes what to do and where to go if a runway goes out. We've got a lot of independent players, different ports, different terminals, different shipping companies and cargo owners who are all going to have to come together and work out how to reroute this traffic, while, of course, the focus is how to get that port back up and running as quickly as we can.
You have your work cut out for you. We do know that, and we appreciate you being with us this morning. Mr. Secretary Pete Buttigieg, thank you very much.